Good morning. We are getting ready to roll, ready to start some historic best of one. Um, Hopefully, let's see, we're at 6,800 on the coinage. Hopefully, gonna pull off a premier draft. Oh, let's see, today's Tuesday. Probably around Thursday-ish. So we did it a week ago Thursday. We did the Premier Draft Kaladesh remastered. It was awful. I think, did we get one win? I think we got one win in that draft. And I even tried to study up on the set the night before. It just didn't go well. So I think I'm going to give the Zendikar Rising Premier Draft a go. You know, I would love to be able to average at least 3 wins in a premier draft over a course of time, because then I think you really get a good payoff on the gems. I think if I get the gems, I'm going to go ahead and do the Mastery Pass. I know there's some opinions about that. I wouldn't spend money on it because so much of it is cosmetics and things that just don't affect gameplay. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against cosmetics, but I don't want to spend money on digital cosmetics. I do spend money, well, I don't know. I don't know that I actually spend money on paper cosmetics, but I'll say this. There's nothing like, you know, getting foils when you open a pack, or I love the new, like extended arts. Like I really love the cool arts and different things that we're getting in paper. And does it encourage me to spend more money? Yes. Yes, it does. I want to get the new etched foil from Commander Legends. I'm looking excited for that. Hey, whoa, Jeffson, did you travel? I need. Let's see. And I'm not even gonna be able to pronounce that. But hello, glad to see some friendly faces this morning. We're getting ready to do some historic best of one. Okay, I was working on a deck last night, and I considered streaming. Val. All right, good deal. We'll go with Val. Nice. I considered streaming last night, and I was like, well, I think I'm just gonna work on this and stream with it in the morning. So I actually found a few extra pieces to my Lich's Mastery deck while I was looking around on Aether Hub last night, and so we're gonna play around with that this morning too. All right, I was gonna get a greeting in my chat this morning, so when people pop on, so in the hotel, nice, good. All right, Jeff's been traveling, so hopefully he's safe. He's getting ready for work. Awesome. All right. All right. So let's see. What is your favorite? Let's go tribe, because I'm a big fan of tribal decks. What is your favorite tribal deck and favorite coffee? Because I'm a fan of coffee. All right. We'll put that in there to hopefully get people going when they hop in and out. All right. Thank you guys for joining. Clones? Oh my gosh. I've never played anything like that. I need to see a deck list on that. So you're talking like making copies, clones? Oh, that's interesting. All right. Where am I at? Oh, let's refresh. See if we get 750 coinage. Nope. Stuck with a 500. And blue or red. So we'll work on that later. Because I do want to show you guys this updated Lich's Mastery deck that I worked on last night, and I played it. I played it a bunch, but I don't know. It's super jank, like super. Let's see. Clone Commander, nice. Yeah, I do like Commander. I was just saying when I first started how much I love the Commander Legends. I really want to buy. I haven't. Well, I've tried actually, but Walmart was out. I've tried to buy the collector boosters. Not that I can afford very many. Like I was literally going to buy one, because I really want to see the etched foils in the Commander Legends. And I've heard they're kind of meh. Like I've heard some folks aren't crazy about them, but I really want to give it a shot. Like, I think it's going to be worth at least checking them out. But okay, so this deck initially I built because I wanted to try out Lich's Mastery. It seemed like a janky card that I want to see if I could do something with. Well, then I saw that somebody paired it with Bolas's Citadel, and at one point I saw somebody paired it with where's it at? 9 Lives. So I was like, oh, okay, there's all these different things going on that I could try. I actually, Val, I'm like a few weeks in as far as being a regular streamer now. So I'm still working on setting all that stuff up. So as far as links are concerned, I'm going to say for now, because we're so young, I've got such a small community, go ahead and put a link in. I don't mind right now. And if it doesn't work, I'll nix it. So we're going to wing it right now. All right, so 9 Lives. Okay, I lost to 9 Lives to a... it slips my mind. What's the land that blows stuff up? You put counters on it. Oh, I can't... the name's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, so the opponent put counters on the land and blew up everything with converted mana cost 3. And I think 9 Lives was the only card I had on the board at the time. And it was actually a pretty good game. And that's how I died, though, because 9 Lives left the board. But actually, the card has come in handy. I've actually had people concede, after a few turns with it on the board. So, all right, I've got way too many cards in here, but here lately what I've found is if I'll just mulligan and get a decent draw, it picks up. Like it works. So the only thing is it's so weird because it plays much more control than I typically play. It has a little bit of an early start sometimes because I want to try to get certain things on the board early, but it's not aggro at all, which is so weird for me. But so what I've noticed is I get into longer games. So I'm having to get used to that again, having played, with short games in mind for so long. Oh, can somebody pronounce that name? Oh my goodness. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. I probably need to add more land for the number of cards I'm running. But like Maze Mine Tomb, I have come to realize that the scry effect on this is such a big deal now. Somebody turned me on. Actually, it was on the chat. I got turned on to that card just the other day. And I thought, well, I never saw the value in it before. And I didn't really even see the value in the particular deck I was running where it got suggested. But I started running it just to check it out. And I love being able to scry. Just by, it's a free scry once you land it for 2. So I guess you can consider it like you're paying 2 for your first scry, and then after that it's free. All right. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have very typical historic ramp to Ugin type deck here. I think I will go ahead and get a creature down first just to sway them from attacking right now. So I tried to go heavy on the removal for this deck because it really needs to stick a few cards to do what it wants to do. And the thing is, I also added Aetherflux Reservoir. So really what I want to do is at some point lock things down and I say lock things down, like I don't have like lock cards so much as, I'm going to wipe the board at some point and hopefully just be at such an advantage that things like Aetherflux Reservoir will kind of take over. But all right, I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Tomb. I'd love to find a little bit more land, but luckily my hand is actually pretty low as far as mana cost right now. Let's see. Yeah, this... Oh, mutate. That's interesting. So I wonder if they're going to go for some kind of Boggles type interaction here, where they're going to stack up on the hexproof, which is not a bad idea. So it actually curves out rather high. This is a good. This is not. This is actually really good right now to have such a low curve right now in my hand. So, because like I said, I'm running Lich's Mastery, Bolus's Citadel, several things like that that are much higher. So, okay. So I have board sweepers, so eventually that's going to come down. I'm not too worried about it having hexproof. All right, I don't need that yet, so we'll cycle that, scry it, whatever. Let's just put this on the board for now. I'm not getting life yet. We'll hold off. Yeah, so I mean, I'm always mindful of the curve. And so in this deck, I mean, I have several one drops. So it has a good curve, but it tops out, I mean, with quite a bit of high cost stuff. So I usually have much more of my high cost stuff in hand by this point. So okay, so now we're almost to a point where we're going to have to do what I don't like doing, which is blocking. I really have gotten in trouble lately on some of my streams, especially when I don't pay attention. Oh, I should have went ahead and scribed that. I need land right now. I've been caught lately not paying attention to my life total and passing up on blocks. Because, well, I think just getting caught thinking ahead to the next turn. I'm like, oh, I'll not block here and do this. And then all of a sudden I look down and go, oh no, my life total is too low. I should have blocked. All right. So I was hoping if that stayed a 4-4, I'd at least have enough power on board to block and kill it. And now that I'm not going to be able to do that, let's see, which is going to be more valuable here? Probably not that. Okay, I think oddly enough, I'm still going to not block. Oh, I really wish I would have scried that to try to find another land. All right, let's get another. So these, obviously, I have the combo in here, but I'm not worried about the combo. That's not what the deck is trying to do. It's just like a backup plan. So that's the funny thing. This deck could almost be called backup plan. Like it has so many different things. Let's see. Blowfly Infestation. Historic. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't recognize. Are you talking about the Scarab God? Yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and block because I don't have much of a choice, even though most of that's still going to get through with trample. So not a great run with land. Maybe we'll draw land here. Yeah, and I got none of my board wipes or anything like that going. I've got just a little bit of lifelink I'll get back here, but that's assuming it doesn't get removed. He's got good removal. Nest of Scarabs. Yeah, I don't know. Look, there's my alarm. All right, so I mean, I think this is over, which is kind of a bummer because I know this deck has so much more it can do. See, I hate that. I hate that whole good game. Like, he has no idea what I've got. Yes, I'm tapped out, so it probably is good game. But it just drives me crazy when somebody does that. Like if I'm the loser, I'll say good game when it's over. Oh, and then he doesn't attack. So was he taunting? Ay, ay, ay. All right. So maybe by not attacking, did he actually give us a chance to turn things around? Is 9 lives going to save us? Wow. This guy may have just written his own ticket. That's awesome. But I've got to draw some land. Oh my goodness, I need land so bad. So out of all the playtesting I did last night, this is by far the worst I've done on land. The worst, for sure. But to be honest, this is the first time I've tried to play consistently with a deck this large. I really like to stick to that 60 rule. Okay. As long as I don't have to sacrifice my artifact, my enchantment, I'm good. Oh my goodness, I still can't pull a land. That's useless right now. I just don't have enough mana to make that worth anything. Okay, and here's the other thing. Oh, 9 lives. So it's basically going to prevent the damage, but it puts a counter on 9 lives. And once 9 lives has 9 counters, I have to exile it. And when 9 lives leaves the battlefield, I lose the game. So what's crazy here is he's not attacking me, so he's not putting any counters on 9 lives. So this is working out in my favor a lot. Okay, so this really does nothing for me other than allow me to play something because I'm tired of not playing anything. But, oh well, it's out there. I mean, I guess it does give me hexproof, which is helpful, I suppose. Yeah, I think he got way too cocky and should have swung in, killed me when he had the chance. And Mr. Good Game, and now it's all oops. Oh my goodness, I love this now. This is so good. Now I just need my stinking board wipe to get that thing out of here. Although it may not matter. I may not need to get it out of here. I'm tempted to go ahead and gain life, but I don't know if I need that right now. I think I'm just going to sit, build some other things up. See, I'm kind of thinking if he doesn't have any way to put counters on 9 lives, I don't need the board wipe now. We may completely switch plans altogether. I'm going to have to discard at some point. Okay, this is one reason why I really wanted to play this deck, is because it has so much more going on and things to interact with than how I usually play. Like I usually play, so if there was an article or a video, I forget how it initially came out. I think there was some terminology. No, I'm trying to remember that card. I know the name. Solemn. I can't pronounce it. It's too early in the morning to get my tongue going. I know the name. I just can't remember that card. Yeah. So we're gonna sit here for a while. Yeah. So okay. Anyway, I'm going back to this video or article. I forget. So there was some terminology already out there. Terms like a Tommy, or what's the other ones? A Timmy. Maybe it was Timmy, not Tommy. But there's 3 different types of Magic players, and I usually fit in the category of, just swing big creatures. I think that's the Timmy. You guys might remember that. Players can't get counters. Well, see, the count, is it players or is it cards? Because the counter goes on 9 lives. Okay, we're finally getting land. Let's go ahead and play Saphira Skyblade. Oh, okay, Saphira Skyblade. I told you guys the other day that I was picking them up in paper for like $1. Well, I think they just went up like a lot. So everything. Okay, I need to. What color is that? I know I've heard of that card. I just can't remember it for some reason. I guess I'm going to go ahead and start swinging at the guy. I got nothing else going on. Um, yeah, if that fits the colors, then I might go look for it. Oh, I forgot he's got reach, but he didn't block. Oh, because I've got indestructible. Anyway, yeah, Saphira Skyblade I think just went up. I think it's like, if I'm not mistaken, I saw that it was like $2.50, which is still not much, right? But for something that that's like it went up 100%, I think. Okay, so we'll sacrifice the bishop. Okay. It's a 3 mana white. Really? Huh. We should probably go look at that. All right. I'm still kind of stuck. This is the worst like car the worst what am I trying to say? So the worst draw I guess I've seen. So we finally got land, but I don't have any of my playable stuff now. Okay, granted, his deck is kind of locking me out with the hexproof. So I guess in any other situation, these would be fine cards to get me going. Although it's all removal right now. Um, okay, now we'll put the game away. So that's kind of the cool thing about Nine Lives is it just kind of it stopped everything, allowed me to regroup, and now we can put the game away. I can't believe this guy though. Mr. Good Game had the win, didn't attack. So I'm gonna have to sacrifice another creature. Oh, what happened? Mutates, destroy target creature. Where did the life loss come from? Okay, I'm gonna have to go back to the board. I did not see that. Is it? Okay, it's got to be on one of these. Oh my gosh, he's got so many things on here. Okay, each opponent loses X life. Okay, so 9 lives only prevents damage. It doesn't prevent cards that cause you to lose life. And I thought I noticed that earlier. Yeah, good game. It actually was a good game. I had the frustrating thing was I had cards to get this game put away once 9 lives came out, but it took so long. Like the exquisite whatchamacallit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I could have landed that combo piece, Phyrexian Unlife. Yeah, I gotta look that up too. Is that in Historic? If it's in Historic, I'll look it up. I am completely out of rare wild cards though. Used those up yesterday on my discard deck, which is it is fun. I don't think I won anything with it. But it was pretty fun. I'm going to run this deck one more time. Let's go look at a couple things. Let's see. Okay, so Solemn. Oh, how was it spelled? I'm not going to go up in the chat. That's just. I'll remember it here in a minute. You said it was 3 mana, so we can narrow that down. Let's go there. There it is. So it is a rare. Players can't get counters. Counters can't be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. So that's actually a really good card for this deck. because the is it Blast Zone? Maybe that's the land I'm thinking about. There's a uh, the land that blew up my 9 lives. That really hurt. I think it's Blast Zone. And then I don't Phyrexian Unlife. Something tells me that might not be standard, but we'll take a look. Yeah, that's not. Well, actually, let me change that. That'll tell us. Yeah, I didn't think that was. Not, did I say standard? Historic is what I meant. I don't. Yeah, that's not a historic. So, okay. Well, I don't have any wild cards, so I can't put in solemnity. Oh my gosh, that word. What's the so? Um, let's see. So that one trips me up. My mom gets tripped up on linoleum. Um, you got a word that tripped you up? All right. So I think I'm gonna run it again. I'm like I said, I've got a mythic and I've got a few uncommon commons. So there's not much we can add really. Um, maybe could take some things out. I think probably more than anything, it probably just needs a little bit more land. But like I said, I typically try to keep to the 60 card rule. But this deck has been so much fun with all of its interactions. But go look at Val's deck. Let's see if I can. That's not the right one. I think that's it. All right, I'll try to pull it up, but we'll see if my slow internet connection can handle running the internet and arena. You guys forget I stream in the morning for a reason. It helps my bandwidth. All right. All right, let's keep the land since that hurt us so much last time. So we're going to see some different things. This is, again, 111, whatever cards it's crazy. I don't usually like to do it that way, but I just found so many different cards that create interaction with this. I just stuffed them all in there. We'll see I should have played that tapped land because I don't have anything to play for 2. I feel like that's a misplay in my book. Anytime I can play a tapped land and I don't need to cast anything with it during that turn, especially in the early game, get that out of the way. Which the only reason why I had that is because for whatever reason, I don't have a lot of white and black lands right now. Although what's funny is I think I've got a full play set of the new ones from Zendikar Rising. It's either white and black or maybe it was something else. Anyway, I think it is the ones that are the modal lands. You can play at either one. Whoa! That was supposed to be on the other screen. Let's not cover up our screen. Our opponent might get mad if I can't play because I can't see my screen. Alright, so I might want to get rid of something here. So let's do this. Let's go here. Oh yeah, I can see it going slow already. So here's what I'm going to do. No offense, Val, but I'm going to go ahead and close my web browser and take a look at that later. Because, yeah, my slow computer doesn't want to do the browser right now. All right. So that's interesting. So I love running this Sorin Imperious Bloodlord. When I run my vampires, I don't think I've ever seen it in a non-vampire deck. So I don't know if that's on purpose or if there's something else going on here that we just haven't seen yet. But I think that's a little odd. All right. Oh. And okay, I was about to say, are we swinging with the Thopter? So the neat thing about it, and we saw the potential, even though it didn't actually make the comeback last time, is we definitely have the potential for getting back into games. Maybe after this match, yeah. So which deck was that? Okay, what were we talking about? I don't even remember what we were talking about when that link came up. Was that your clones? That's right. So are you cloning? What's the one I really want to play with? I haven't built anything with it yet. Biovisionary? Is that the name of it? Biovisionary? That's the one that if you get, is it 4 copies, you win the game? I think that's from, is it Return to Ravnica or something like that? One of the older Ravnica sets, I think. I don't know. I have a copy, and I've never played it in a deck because I just pulled it from a pack, and I was like, oh, well, do I want to, buy a play set and build around it? I was like, no, but I might put it in a commander deck one day, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, is I might put it in a commander deck. Let's go ahead and go here first. So yeah, Biovisionary, I've always thought would be really fun to try to build around. Yeah, it's green and blue, right? So you're running mono blue, or I don't know. Obviously this would be a lot better conversation if I could pull the deck up, but I don't want to, like I said, bog my internet right now. Okay, blue, black, white, cool. Yeah, actually, when I play paper anymore, Commander's all I play. I've only been playing Commander for maybe a year, but in that year I've built a ton of Commander decks, and then I slowed down now because I don't get together with people and play on paper. So here we are playing on Arena. But I do want to buy some more. I want to get at least one collector's booster. That's kind of okay. So now that we can get rid of the Planeswalker with Ixalan's binding, I feel better about wiping the board. I didn't really want to wipe the board and leave a Planeswalker just because I felt like I would be at the disadvantage as far as board state goes. Now, to be honest, I'm still not crazy about my board state with, well, okay, Tormod's Crypt doesn't bother me because, I mean, getting rid of my graveyard is not a big deal. Authority of Consuls is not a big threat either. It would be nice to get rid of it, but I don't particularly feel threatened by it. And I can get rid of it later. It's an enchantment. I've got enchantment removal. Sin's Triplet. Okay, so I'm familiar with Sin's Triplet, but I've never had one, never played with it, so I do forget what it does. I saw, and I need to go back and rewatch it, on the Command Zone game nights. They ran a Sin's Triplet deck recently, so I may go rewatch that episode. Alright, do I want to get 9 lives down now? I kind of like waiting on it, because it does have a limited lifetime. So, I think I'm going to go with Dawn of Hope, because now that we're gaining life from Aetherflux Reservoir, I can draw cards. So let's do that. Let you play with your opponent's hand. Oh, okay, I think I do remember that episode that I saw now. I think I'm going to go ahead and... No, I'm going to wait. Because I don't have enough to draw with Dawn of Hope, so let's just go. I could cycle and gain life. Because I don't really need the 6 life right now. So let's do that. On the on their end step, we'll cycle it, we'll gain 2 life, which will trigger Dawn of Hope, we'll draw a card. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Yeah, I actually do think I remember that episode now. It wasn't that long ago, because I watched game nights quite a bit, and so it was pretty recent when I seen it, because I've seen most of them recently. And I do remember, I'm trying to remember who it was that was playing it. I can't remember who played it. But I remember whoever it was playing with everybody else's hand. Not everybody else. It was actually one player that it kept happening to more than not. Okay, so we picked up a... Oh, there we go. Got some land going. I feel like my head was bobbing there for a second watching all the land come out. That probably looked hilarious on the stream. So I've got Revival and Revenge, which I used to play with way back when it first came out, but I haven't really played with it since. And then it finally hit me that with Aetherflux Reservoir, it can get me there pretty fast. So I can double my life total. I don't know if I'm quite ready to do that yet because it won't quite get me there. But it's kind of a like sneak attack almost. It's like all of a sudden I go from, if I can just get to like 26, which will not seem that high of a life total, and then double it, and then Aetherflux Reservoir for the game. So that's why this deck has so many cards right now, because there's just so many neat interactions that it's like, let's try something. So I could go, let's decline to draw, go here. We'll get our life total up a little faster. And so we get it up a little bit faster, and then we go ahead and slam Revenge, Aetherflux Reservoir. That's the game. So we'll have to wait till next turn, since it came in tapped. But actually, we could swing Revenge, Reservoir all in one turn, depending on what happens on this turn of our opponents. So I've been trying to think about what could come out of the deck. And anything could come out. But so many things have a purpose. So like even Murderous Rider I thought about taking out. But he can also destroy a Planeswalker, which really comes in handy. Alright, so this is going to be fun. So we'll move to combat. We'll swing. Doesn't matter if it gets blocked or not, because we're still going to gain the life. Unless something... something could come out to remove it, but... No, okay. Yeah, I feel like we're going to blindside him here. Totally going to blindside him. Okay, decline, because we need the mana. Alright. Revenge. This is going to be so fun. Will they scoop or let us use it? Decline. Double. Decline. Aetherflux Reservoir. To the face. And it's over. That was fun. Oh. And this is what playtesting in the ladder does. You should playtest in ranked at your own risk. Okay. Looks like the internet's struggling a little bit. Nice. Yeah. Oh. Let's give it a second. Don't ruin my stream. Come on, internet. Come on, servers, networks, all those things. You can do it waiting on the server. Alright, what time is it? It's almost 7 o'clock in the morning. All right, we hit 7,000, and we still haven't worked on our quest yet. We'll have to do that soon. Yeah, maybe we'll look at that. Which actually, those colors, let's see, blue and red. What have I got that I haven't played in a long time? So I've got a second draw. So if you remember, was it Throne of Eldraine? What came after Throne? Oh, it was Theros Beyond Death, maybe? I'm trying to remember which one had that second draw mechanic. Because I built around that. So that was... It was Throne of Eldraine. So I built around the second draw. So Improbable Alliance, Ominous Seas, and then of course really kind of playing off Ominous Seas, going ahead and putting in Contentious Plan and really working on that second draw. So I think we're going to run this for our coins. I haven't worked on it in a while, but I don't know. I mean, Kaladesh Remastered is the latest thing that we've gotten in Historic, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would make it better or not. So the good thing about this deck is it's cheap. As far as if somebody wanted to build this, like I have a few like Niv Mizzet, but for the most part, and I did put these in later, but for the most part, you don't need, I mean, commons and uncommons make up a really large part of this deck. And you can go, I mean, you can make it ever how you want to make it, but it will run really effectively cheap. So I do like that. All right, we'll get a scry. Actually, I'm going to keep that. There we go. Okay, so this is what we want to do. We'll stick the one early, and then we'll start drawing cards. Now, this may not be the most, I don't know, may not be the most effective. I've seen some people have a lot of success with Ominous Seas, but when this does go off, it is fun. Oh man, it's fun. All right, so I think it's each turn. Is it each turn? Well, not this one. This one. Come on. Each turn. All right. So getting the extra card draw doesn't have any effect on the Improbable Alliance because it is just your second card, but it will help Ominous Seas. And I'm spending so much time building everything up. I haven't even drawn a second card for the Improbable Alliance yet. Okay, now yes, we'll proliferate. Now we'll draw a card. And proliferate. Yeah, why not? Oh, the magic mirror is so fun too. So this could be. Oh, Jeff's got to go. All right. See you later, bud. Appreciate you jumping in. That's my good friend and family. All right. So I'm wondering what's going on across the board from us because it looks like they're either waiting to play some removal or just got a really bad draw because there's no board state over there. I don't know. I don't know. Let's try to set something up here. We'll get our next draw. Let's go ahead and have our opponent mill. Although a mill isn't the worst thing for us since we have Mystic Sanctuary. Okay. I'm not even going to attack yet. And I'm not going to crack that yet. We'll just do it on our opponent's turn. The other thing is, because I'm trying to proliferate the counters, I try to avoid using it when it just has 8 counters. Okay. So, oh yeah, I do want to mill myself out. I forgot I had Jace on the board. I was starting to think maybe I'm drawing too many cards, but that's okay. Until Jace gets removed, and then it's bad, very bad. I don't remember if it's this deck or not, but recently I did that where I'm building myself out, and it's like, oh, that was awful. Okay. I feel like our opponent is just waiting for an attack, and I think I'm going to give it. I don't know why. Like, there's no settle the wreckage in these colors, so like, what's I don't know. I'm missing a card. Although, what is it? What's the name of it? Return to Soot? Well, that's the name of that. There's Ugin. That'll wipe our board. The whole board? Yep. I think it's going to wipe the whole board. We're going to have to start completely over. Oh, I should have cracked those first. Well, it wouldn't have mattered because they would have been on the... Would it be on the stack if I do that? I don't know how that works. Okay. Thank you, Ugin. Appreciate you wiping out my whole board. And here's the worst part. This deck doesn't have anything to deal with that. I don't think this deck has hardly any interaction. Well, that's not entirely true. I do have the Ironcrag Pyromancer. But at the moment, I don't have it. And so there's not enough interaction, we'll put it that way. I won't say there's none, but certainly not enough. So I have plenty of decks that can come back from Ugin. I just don't know if this is one of them. And plenty is probably not the right word. I have some decks that can come back from Ugin. I'm starting to build with things like Ugin in mind better. Because there was... I mean... We still had strong Planeswalkers before Ugin. I just don't know that we ever had so many that it was... If you didn't remove it early, it was game over. I've been in so many... Well, okay. I think the last one that was game over was the first Teferi. But we call it Big Teferi, before Little Teferi came out. That was probably a game over Planeswalker. If you really couldn't deal with it, game over. And I kind of feel like Ugin's about that way. Alright, except... Come on, get the right one. I think... Unless this gets removed before I get a card draw. Where's that opt? I think we can take Ugin out right here. Yeah, I don't need land. What just happened? Did something stop me? Oh, I've already drawn my second card this turn. Okay. Can I draw 2 cards? Do I have another opt? Oh, that was such a misplay. So if I can draw 2 cards on the next turn, I'm fine. But I don't have another opt. Oh, I think I just killed myself on that misplay. Yikes. Okay, well. Oh, I could cycle next turn. Did I do it again? You guys. Why are you letting me do this? I think I just killed myself twice. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. I just 2 misplays in a row that would have saved me. I say saved me. I mean, it would have gotten rid of Ugin. I might still have gone down. Golly. The misplays. But that's what happened when you try to pilot so many decks that you go so long. So what I need to do I have another... Yes, I have a Jace. I wonder if I can stick the Jace and mill myself out in this one turn before it gets ugly. Let's try it. How many cards did I have? 15? I'm down to 10. I need to draw the most cards possible. There's that opt I needed. I don't know if I've got enough mana to do it. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be gone. I don't think Jace is going to last. I should have been milling myself from the beginning. Did it do it? Oh, it emptied it, but I didn't draw the card. So it was, I'm one away. Well, can I survive next turn? But Jace has to survive. And Jace is not going to survive. Oh, one card away. Wow. That's crazy. So close, yet so far away. It was fun. It was fun. One card. One card. Alright, how do we do on our coinage? We'll see. Okay, if you're still watching, I'm going to go to about 7:45. That's what the schedule is set up for. If the schedule still shows up on Twitch, I think I need to double check that and make sure it still shows up. I'm going to go to about 7:45, and I do want to remind you to, well, first off, thank you for watching. I definitely appreciate it. And I want to remind you, if you don't mind doing all those things, follow, subscribe, like, and most of all, share. Let's build our community up here. I was saying that yesterday, the cool thing is, by getting people involved now at the ground level, is we just get so much more interaction. There's so much more we can do while we are small and tongue-tied. But yeah, while we're small, it's cool to get in on the ground level. We can interact a lot more. So yeah, let's see. All right, so we got the quest out of the way. Oh, also check out my social media. I'm trying to work on that. So for the longest time, I wasn't doing streaming or putting myself out there in any way to be seen, and so I approached my social media differently, and now I'm trying to work on that. So yeah, check out Instagram RevBandaid, Twitter RevBandaid, which, to be honest, a lot of times I just post the same thing on both of those platforms, and sometimes it's kind of the same thing with Facebook, because I'm on all those. Well, I say all three. I'm on those three, and honestly, sometimes it's the same stuff. Okay, so we played a lot of Jank this morning. I think I may move on to something that should be a little bit more competitive. Obviously, Jank is what I do, but let's try. So my clerics is still, it's very tribal, obviously. I'm a huge fan of tribal. It is maybe in the Jank category, but I feel like it actually does pretty decent. It's one of the decks that moved me from from platinum to diamond last season. So let's give it a whirl. I've already got one priest, but it might not be such a bad thing to have a redundancy, a backup plan. I'll run a second priest here. Especially since I've already got 3 mana, which is not, we need over time more, but early on, I can live with that. We can go ahead and stick a priest. And I'm not opposed to sacrificing one priest to the other priest. I have more recursion in this deck than most decks, so I can get it back. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I hate shrines, but luckily, Banishing Light can take out shrines. I just don't know if I want to do it just yet. Okay, so next turn, we can stick Tabaraks and then start sacrificing 2 Tabaraks. well, with the priest, but getting the benefit on Tabrak. So we'll get card draw and 1/1 counters on him. And so, and eventually we'll get Archfiend's Vessel into the graveyard so that we can bring it back later as a demon. We just have to be careful which shrines we take out, because I don't think I have Cleansing Nova. I wish I had Cleansing Nova. I don't remember if I put it in here. I might put it in here if I didn't, especially right now, because Kaladesh Remastered is, we're going to be sitting on so many. Interesting. They went to get Dawn of Hope. Okay, so Kaladesh Remastered has so many artifacts that I think we need Cleansing Nova to deal with really any deck from that's built around that set, and then of course the Shrine deck is a thing still. Sometimes I'm surprised that it's still a thing, but it's still a thing. Okay, so the card draw was really helpful there. Very nice. And so eventually, when we start bringing things back, again, our Archfiend's Vessel, we go ahead and kill those off, and we bring them back later as demons. That's going to be really, really helpful. Now I think we just have to hope, and I'm pretty sure our opponent does have a board wipe. Oh, maybe not. Okay, now I'm really confused. This is not a Shrine deck. Or maybe it is. I don't think it is now. Ooh, I've got more enchant removal than I thought. Maybe I don't need Cleansing Nova. This is going in a very different direction than I thought it would. In a good way. Alright. So let's swing first. Actually, no, let's hold off on that, because I do want to kill that later. I could have gone ahead and put counters on that first. I suppose that, I don't know if that's a misplay so much as just a choice. It would have dealt more damage that way, but I don't think it's a huge deal. Alright, so the cool thing is, because those are clerics, we're getting the card draw. We wouldn't get it if they weren't, even though he would still get counters. But this, if this sticks around, there's got to be some removal coming sooner than later. And honestly, if there's not a board wipe coming, I think we've won. But there's a very good chance there could be. I would almost be shocked if there's no board wipe. But then again, with Impassioned Orator, they were planning on dropping creatures. So, speaking of creatures, alright. This is hexproof or protection from demons and dragons, so interesting. That's not going to do them a lot of good. I think we just won the game. Okay, so here's something interesting I found playing in the ladder is, so some decks might be stronger than others, but actually a worse deck to play based on matchups. And here's the thing I've noticed. It's not just that it matches up differently with the meta. It's that the algorithms that create the matchups, and I think this may be one of those decks that when they create the matchups, I don't see certain decks as often, and so it just ends up being a good deck to get wins, not necessarily because it's better than my others, but because some of my others that might actually be better decks, the algorithms put them against decks I don't play well against in general. I'm going to play that again because I just really enjoy that deck. So we'll run that back one more time, and then we might play something different. That's kind of my thing. Hopefully that's entertaining and worth watching. I know I know some streamers are just, really competitive, and you get to see, how a competitive streamer, works up the ladder, and that's cool. I'm glad those streamers are out there. But I do play lots of different decks, and that is kind of what I enjoy, and I hope it comes across well as entertainment. If not, I might change my game plan, but for now, that's what we're working with. Let's get this out and build it up. I don't like seeing blue across the way. I definitely don't like seeing blue, black, and white. That is a control build for sure. I am not a fan. I'm just not a fan. But we'll see what happens. Yep, here we go. Destroying my stuff. All right. So if this stays on the board, which it probably won't, I get benefits from my clerics dying. So that's really cool. Wow. Oh, I'm going to hate this matchup so much. There's nothing worse than sitting around watching your stuff just go away. I think it's because at some point with control players, you always feel like they're the ones playing the game by themselves and you're just hanging out. And I guess I just don't like that play style. He's probably going to be so upset that I've pulled 3 of those. That really gets me too. Nice. I love that. So that's happened to me where especially in the early game, it's so frustrating when somebody has like 3 or 4 copies of a key card early in the game, and you're like, what? How did you get all those at the top of your deck? Yeah, that's got to be so frustrating for that opponent right there. I know I get, so annoyed when that happens against me. Like, there's no way you pulled all those. Well, I did. All right. Rushman 34. Rushman, probably, but, Rushman. All right. This is not a lot of mana, but it works. We don't need much right here. No, I'm going to go here. So, speaking of not a lot of mana, I haven't played my flyer since, I guess it was last week. I played it on a stream, and I was really frustrated because the matchups were awful. And it usually does so much better. One of the reasons why it usually works well is because it is such a low-cost, aggressive deck. That it really wins games with just 2 mana all the time. If the matchup is right, that was the thing. Gosh, last week when I ran it, the matchups were awful. I don't think I won a single game with it. Which is crazy because aggro usually wins some games. just by virtue of being aggro. I mean, that's kind of what mono red's thing is. Although mono red has the advantage of having all of the removal. That's a really key component missing. Interesting. I think I'm going to get rid of that. That is a key component missing from my Flyers deck, to be honest. It doesn't do much removing. It just wants to get out and do its thing. Oh! Well, that's fun. Okay, we'll take that victory. We might climb the ladder. Which, would be great. I mostly am only on the ladder because I like I like to be in that particular arena of competition, but I also like knowing that I'll get more packs if I do move up, even though my purpose in playing isn't to move up the ladder. But hey, if I'm going to play if I'm going to play anyway, why not play on the ladder and get more packs when the season's over? Arcanus. Cool name. 3 land. This will work. This will work. That's scry. I like the scry. We'll keep that. That's also on curve. Oh, going up against a mutate. Nice. Yeah, we'll actually let this go in tapped. I don't need to lose that life right now. So this is interesting. Mutate in blue and black. Which I'm not sure is fair, because your avatar makes me think you're playing more Boros. So just going to throw that out there. Of course, my avatar... I mean, Sarkhan is mono red mostly. What other colors? Well, I know there was a... Was it red and green? What other? There's a Planeswalker, a Sarkhan Planeswalker card that I want to say is 3 colors, isn't it? I'm almost certain there's a 2-color red and green, but I'm thinking there might be a 3-color Sarkhan out there. But mostly he's mono red, and I am definitely not mono red. So my my theory on avatars is a little bit hypocritical. But it is frustrating though when somebody shows up with like in a Johnny or something and they're playing like mono blue. I'm like, really? Boot Nipper. I like Boot Nipper. He's a really good draft card. Really good sealed or limited. Really good limited card. I don't know if it's a great... I don't know if it's a very good card for a constructed deck necessarily, but it's good. I mean, it's not... I mean, anytime you get Death Touch, I feel like you've got something good. Maybe not great, but good. I've got the wrong cup. I'm sipping on my coffee, which I always do. I promote coffee. If you go to my Twitch bio, you'll see a link where you can help support me by buying your coffee. And I'm not a salesman, but I do appreciate support. I've got the wrong cup though. I don't have the one that says my wife knows everything. I've got the one that says my husband, so I've got my wife's cup. All right. Let's see. I need to get the triggers for Taborax, things have to die. And I can't sacrifice them, so I'm going to block. Which, yeah. I'm not always a fan of blocking. I like to wait, and then I wait too long, and then I go, oops, should have blocked. So our pal Arcanus here likes to take their time. I don't know if that's intentional, but we saw the timer come out, what, twice on this the last turn alone? I mean, I guess if you're playing with blue, you got to do a lot of thinking. We'll give them some credit there. Benefit of the doubt, maybe. And I know I'm probably stretching it there, but even blue players should be able to play faster than this. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and let some things die and trigger Taborax. All right, yes, we want to draw cards. Always draw cards. And now let's play cards. I think... Let's see, mutate. Yeah, let's get rid of that one. We'll go ahead and get rid of something. Let's swing in. I mean, there's no need to wait on blocking, because even if that gets mutated... I mean, okay, I guess we could have... I guess, yeah. I guess it could have got mutated and be an attacker. Oh, well. I mean, we can block with Speaker of the Heavens. Get my tongue untied there. I think I want to keep it just in case I get my life total back up, but I'm not too crazy about that. I mean, I can block with it. We're probably not going to get up there anytime soon. I mean, really, its advantage in this deck is way more the fact that it's a cleric than its ability. It's kind of one of those, it's a cleric, so we're going to get payoff. And then, by the way, we might, by chance, get to use the ability, and that'd be awesome. But Tabarax gets payoff from clerics, and then, oh, what's his name that we used on the last game that gave us so much advantage? Also triggers on clerics. So we do need that interaction. Alright, let's go here and save the rest for blocking, I guess. I don't know, it might have made sense to go ahead and swing with the Blight Priest as well. So somebody was saying earlier, why would you run the Blight Priest instead of Veto? Well, one, cost, if you don't have the wild cards. And two, I run them both. I get the redundancy, especially in a cleric deck where I want clerics. I'm not against redundancy. I mean, obviously, everything's got to be calculated. There is a such thing as too much redundancy, but I'm not against it necessarily. Wow, we are charging up the ladder. I mean, what's that? 4 wins in a row? Let's try again. And this is the type of Magic I'm used to, though, where it's relatively quick. The long play. I mean, it's why I love best of one so much. I get the traditional best of 3. There are some people who say that's the only way to play Magic. Now, I really disagree with that, because if I'm sitting at the kitchen table with buddies, we never use sideboards. If we play a best of 3, it's not because we feel like that's the way it has to be done. It's because that's the mood we're in. I get, as far as tournament play, it's been best of 3 for as long as anybody can remember, and that's fine. I enjoy best of 1, and like I said, if I'm at the kitchen table, even if we play multiple games, we're still really playing best of 1. So that's where my comfort is. I used to, because so when I first got back into Magic after a layoff of many years, a layoff like it was a job. It wasn't. But when I first got back in, I thought I might want to try tournaments, and so I did start trying to get comfortable building with a sideboard in mind. And I think I did actually get comfortable building with a sideboard in mind. And then reality hit me. I was like, I'm not playing in tournaments. Like, I'm not that competitive. I'm not. So here's the thing. I'm not against the competition or any of that. I'm just saying it's not me. So I'm not the type of person anymore. Now, I used to be to be so competitive that I have the focus that I think is necessary to play in tournaments. I think you've got to be so focused when you build decks, when you build sideboards, when you do everything that you need to do. And I personally am not competitive enough to engage that type of focus. I want to be more loose with Magic the Gathering anyway. Is this Amari? I don't know if I've ever seen it spelled quite that way, so we're going to go with Amari. If at all possible, I like referring to my opponents by their name. Sometimes it is definitely not possible. I guess we could just refer to Chandra as Chandra. Alright, do I have any removal yet? Not yet. So I'd like to get that off the board if possible. I guess we'll block it though. So, opponent gets the life gain, but we were able to block, so that's good. Alright, let's go here. So now we can lose creatures and get them and get other creatures back. Well, but not yet. So there's nothing in the graveyard yet. So the first, yeah, initially the trigger won't quite work, but let's swing. We'll put the pressure on and see what happens. Val is back. Val, I didn't know you left. I mean, things were quiet around here, don't get me wrong. I saw that Jeff left. I was like, oh, Jeff's gone. And then everything got quiet, and I was like, Val's not talking to me anymore. I must have made him mad. So, I feel good. Apparently I didn't, well, maybe I did still make Val mad. Maybe that's why he left. But he's back! Alright, let's see. I need removal. I don't have it yet. Alright. So I do think I'm going to leave up some blocking because it still helps. Even though Aura's trigger won't pull anything out of the graveyard yet, because there's nothing there yet, we could get something there by blocking. And even though our opponent is gaining life, we're the redundancy. And that's the other thing about the redundancy here is, so without our other combo piece, which I don't even think I put in this particular deck, I'm not against the combo, I do run it sometimes, but I will be honest, sometimes it gets old. And so I'm pretty sure I don't have it in this particular deck. And so we need more value out of veto. So having the redundancy actually gets to double up on the value because you can't put 2 vetoes on the board unless you have a way of doing it. Helm of the Host could do it. I don't know if there's anything else in historic. I don't think there's anything besides Helm of the Host in historic that will allow you to double up. Ah, nice. So you're watching on your phone. Well, I guess that makes sense. So, yeah. Nobody watches on a computer. Do they? That might be weird. I'm on a computer all day long, so I do this in the morning, and then my day job has me on a computer all day long. Luckily at home. I work from home, so that's nice. Alright. I feel like we still have the advantage, even though they've got some things going on over there. But I still feel pretty good. Like I said, I don't think I have the combo in here, so I don't think that's going to work. Oh, but we'll be able to activate Speaker next turn. I think. I think we should gain enough life. Okay. Everything's got a trigger. Oh, we might. Oh yeah, we might finish them off just with triggers. Because I got one more creature. I think this does it. I think this finishes. So they'll gain 2 life, but then we're going to drain enough. I think this finishes them off. So yeah, like I said, I don't remember if I have the other combo piece for the veto combo, but I don't need it because I'm focusing so much on clerics. And again, I sometimes will, and sometimes maybe an understatement, maybe most of the time, I will sacrifice function for theme. And so the clerics keep me on theme. So that's, I mean, we're, that's what, 5 in a row? And this is a deck that's on theme that's winning. It's like I was saying earlier, sometimes it's all about, and not always, I don't want to be like a conspiracy theorist here, but sometimes like it really is the way the algorithms match you up with other decks. This deck, for whatever reason, always seems to get matched up with decks it can beat, and I've got so many other decks that even though I play solely in historic, so you would think the matchups wouldn't be a huge difference, but they are, like one deck to another. And so sometimes I just find the deck that's not going to get matched up with the other with horrible decks. Or they can still, match up well even if it does, but like I said, sometimes I've got a deck that's just better, but I won't run it because I always get matched up with decks it can't beat. Pingbach. Not okay. It's an interesting name. I don't know if there's supposed to be something funny there or what. Okay, so we're in Is It with Stonecoil Serpent. I'm not sure yet what we're looking at. And even Narset doesn't tell me much. I mean, Narset goes in any blue deck. Oh my goodness, Ugin, of course. Is there anybody in Historic that's not running Ugin? Yeah. So in this particular deck, I mean, I would just try to stick a Banishing Light. So that is the cool thing, is by revealing it, at least we can plan ahead now. I mean, you should probably plan ahead anyway, but planning ahead's not my wheelhouse. But we're going to now. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, like I think anymore, and I've fluctuated between the different play styles. I probably fit into what's the one in the middle. So Timmy is the first one, and there's one in the middle. I might fit more in the middle, or maybe at times definitely I like to play. I think Timmy's the one that just swings. Just give me big creatures and let me turn them sideways. So Saheeli Rai, I've thought about using wild cards on her to try to see if I like running a deck like that. Servos, isn't she the one that... She makes copies too. Copies are not fun. I don't like to see my opponents making copies. I know, that means I probably wouldn't like playing against your clone deck, but I don't like copies. That scares me. So I kind of would like to take out Saheeli, but I mean, it only makes sense to wait to make sure we can take care of Ugin, so that's what we're going to do right now. And I don't think it makes sense to swing with anything yet. The only thing is, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe flyers. But see, they're gonna have to get over the serpents first. I'm not sure what is going to give us the win, even if we get rid of Ugin. I think this may be a bad matchup. There's just so much going on the board over there. Golly, now Karn. Are you kidding me? So, would you categorize this as a Super Friends deck now? I think maybe that's where I would put it. It's just nuts. Yeah, I think we are outmatched. And, well... outpowered. We'll put it that way. I don't know that this opponent is an outmatch so much as just outpowered us, I think. Yeah, that's a pretty big power play. Okay, but we could get some value out of the priest. Let's go there. Let's go here. I think Karn's the one we need to get rid of the most for now. We'll get rid of, well, we won't get rid of any of them yet. We're gonna face blockers first. But we'll, I think, focus our attention attacking on Karn. And then obviously we're saving Banishing Light for Ugin, which I don't think is going to be enough. I mean, I really think we're outpowered. I don't see us making a stand here. Oh, that's interesting. So, oh, if we weren't dealing with a blocker, we could almost attack Ugin with our flyer and Banishing Light Karn. So that's interesting. And it's too bad those got exiled. That's the other frustrating thing about Ugin. And it always frustrates me every time. I'm like, oh, I could get those back from my graveyard. No, I can't. All right, so let's do that. So luckily, when he activated Ugin, he helped clear the board for us. I still think we may be outpowered in the long run with what we're seeing, but you never know. I mean, our opponent kind of helped us out. We'll take that. And there's no more flying. So looks like, depending on what that card is in hand, Ugin could, not Ugin, but Karn could be down this turn. We still have nothing in the graveyard, which is a little frustrating, but... Okay, this is interesting. I think our opponent helped us out. I really think, had they not activated Ugin and just kept doing what they were doing, we were outpowered and would not be in a good position. I think we're in a better position. Okay, so there's a big blocker. That hurts. But I can remove that. What's it? Protection from multicolored? Yeah, none of my removal is multicolored. I mean, I gotta get some card draw first. We can't remove anything until we get some card draw. But I have plenty of removal to deal with that. I say plenty. I've got a few Feed the Swarm and a few more Banishing Light. Okay. The only thing is I don't know if I have enough card draw, because typically, so one of the reasons why I didn't push much card draw is because I've got enough cards that usually pull from the graveyard that functions as my card draw a lot of times. That gives me the card advantage that card draw gives you. But now that I have no graveyard, we're in a pickle. Gosh, and those things have trample and reach. They're deadly. We'll block here and take the 5 for now. This is not looking good for our hero. Okay, so let's get rid of the biggest one. And now we can swing we'll get Get that back. Block. Okay. So I can't... Interesting. I still think we're outpowered. There's just too much of a board state for me to deal with at the moment, and I think it's going to be that way. Maybe, but I don't think I pack any board wipes in this deck. I don't remember for certain, but I'm almost certain I didn't. I think that would help us get back in this game. But without that, I think we're just biding our time. Let's go ahead and block. We'll gain 2 life. Get it back. So, I mean, we have a decent little loop here. I just don't think it's enough. And see, at some point, our opponent's going to be able to draw cards again. That's what their deck... Right, see, there we go. That's what their deck does. Again, my deck relies on card advantage from the graveyard, which is not a bad thing until your graveyard's gone. Wow. Yeah. So now the question is, how long do we play it out before we just scoop? I'd like to see a couple more cards. I'd like to see what I can top deck. I don't think I've got anything. I mean, I think we're getting close to scoop time. Okay, so with the priest, I could sacrifice, get a card, and then bring something back. But I'm going to lose as soon as I attack with that. Lose it. But I've got a second one, which I'll just lose. I mean, we might... I don't know. I don't think we've got anything. We've got some cool interaction that can still happen. But the other thing is, I've got a block. Wow. Yeah, just too much recursion and card draw. Too much advantage over there. Which we saw that from very early on, that we were just outpowered. Which is interesting because this deck, like I was saying before, typically doesn't get matched up with something that outpowers it like this. It's just it's really interesting how the matchmaking goes. Usually, it's my other decks that get matched up with decks like this. And I don't know why that works out that way, but it does. All right, so we either... Oh, this is trample. Wow. I think we just call it. It's been fun. All right, speaking of calling it, I need to call it a morning. I need to get ready for my day job. Thanks so much for hanging out. Like I said, please do me a favor. Do all the like, subscribe, share, ring the bell things that you do. Check out my social media. I'm going to be working on putting more stuff out there as I go. Like I said, that's I'm new at this, so I appreciate all the support I can get. Tell your friends to come join us. Like I said, there's going to be so much. It's going to be so much more interactive while we're in the early stages. Because hopefully one day we build a pretty big community, and not that we won't be interactive then, but smaller communities are always going to feel a little closer. So this is a great time to get on board. I appreciate you. And I'm going to get out of here. We're sitting at almost 8,000 gold. So I'm still thinking we might do a premier draft on Thursday morning. I haven't made it official yet. But I think it's very, very likely that we're going to do a draft on Thursday morning. You will likely see me lose hard. I'll try to prep a little bit, but drafting is just not my thing. But I think it's worth doing. It's fun. We'll see how it goes. Appreciate you so much, and see you tomorrow morning, 6:15.